Control flow statements and Python is what we will discuss in this session. Control flow statements are very important. Without them, you can't write meaningful program, and any program that is capable of making a choice or taking a decision based on the given input or data. Because see, these control flow statements, what are these statements are do present in every programming language, but constructs a structure. The way they are also arranged, the way the work these statements work, if else, if else if ladder, they are typically same across all different languages, but except the keywords might be different. When it comes to Python, we use if else elif. Elif stands for else if. Okay, so what are these control flow statements that change? What essentially control flow statement does? It alters the normal flow of the program. So the control flow statements are capable of altering the normal flow of a program. So a normal flow of the program is altered whenever this control flow statement is occur or present. So we have different set of control flow statements that are conditional decision making statements and loops and function calls. When it comes to conditional statements, these are also referred as branching statements because the program flow is branched across multiple so one single flow can be branched into segmented into multiple branches, multiple control flows, depends on the condition. So what are these control flow statements, or conditional or decision making or branching statements? What are those? Those are if, else, elif, okay, or if, elif, and else. Those are branching or decision making statement or conditional statements. So other loop control flow statements are a continue and break. So those do control how loops execute. And we have, see, when you take this conditional statements, these are also referred as a decision making or branching statements. We have a if else, and if else ladder, if else if else ladder, or okay. So what is if? Okay, it's like condition, when you talk about this also, we come across this, right, where if you give me, I will do this, that is a condition. You won't do that particular task if you don't get what you are expecting, right? It is a condition. Okay, so how it works, it is just a single path. Okay, so condition determines whether you take that path or not. If that condition is not true, you won't in a program, if that condition is not true, program flow will continue as usual without taking that path. Okay, so I'll give you one example. Okay, so let's say you will go to work, you'll go to office every day. Okay, so that is as usual. Okay, but what is if, like, you may not go to the office if you're sick, right? So what is that? That is condition. What is condition? If you're not sick, go to office. If you're sick, what you will do, you'll take the rest. Okay, so what altered there? Staying at home or taking rest, that happens when you are sick. But when you are not sick, go to the office, right? Go to the work. That is as usual. So same thing here, as you can see here. So if you represent the same thing, in a uh, in a language of Python. So see how this if condition is structured. So we have the if and expression. This expression is called a conditional expression. This expression is evaluated to either true or false. So what statements inside if are referred as conditional. A block, if block are sweet. Okay, those statements belong to that if condition or if block. So as statements, we combining all statements, we refer them as a block, if block or a suite. Those statements inside a if condition or a statements of if block are executed if and only if the condition, if condition or expression, this expression is having another name which is called conditional expression, is evaluated as true. If it is not evaluated as true, that if block won't be executed and control flow will go as usual, executing a statement by statement that are outside or right below the if condition. Understood? So if block is evaluated, executed only if given condition is true. Okay, so let's take an example. We have it 22. If it is even or odd, so we are dividing 22 by 0, and if remainder is 0, we will print a given number is even. Okay, and the last statement we have here, it will be executed regardless of what condition is, because that is outside. Understood? Just these two statements won't be executed if it is odd. These two statements will be executed. This is even only. It's true. Okay. So that how many branches you have here? Only one. Okay, one. And this if block will be executed only if the expression is true, and it will come back to normal executing everything else. But it will not go into that if block if the expression is false. And now we have here what is called if else. Okay, it's like a two branches. If when it comes to if statement, you have only one branch that will be executed only if that if condition is true, and there is no else here. Okay, regardless of statements outside are executed regardless of the condition, and the block of if is executed only if condition is true. But you have a scenario where you want to do something else if the condition is false. Okay, if the condition is false, that is when it takes else. Okay, this conditional expression, if it is true, if block, we refer it as a statements white that are in white, they are all part of the if block or a suite. Though that if block will be executed. If the expression is false, else block will be executed. And the statement outside if else are executed always. Understood? Right? Because the control flow comes here. Okay, so how control flow goes like this. Okay, yeah, now that is out of the if else block. Yes. Okay, so that is what if else, and the expression should be evaluated either true or false. Okay, and we know that what is true, all non-zero are evaluated as a true in Python, right? Even if the expression returns not Boolean, either true or false, if it returns a number or a string, that everything can be evaluated either a true false. If it is empty string, that is false. If it is empty list, that is false. And the non-zero values are true or zero is false. Okay, so And what we have, simple example is we wanted to print a message which will be printed always here, the print message, right? And the message variable, what is inside message variable, is determined by the if condition. If it is if it's true, the message will contain even number. We are using format specifier here, understood? So else this message would be, given number is odd. So we are printing, either way we are printing message that is outside if else block. Okay, if the number is even, if block will be executed. Number is odd, since condition is false, else block will be executed. And what we have here, there, there you go. So we are at crossroads. Okay, and you want to have multiple choices. It's not just like true false. You have multiple choices where you want to take, so here it is not displayed here in a pseudocode. Elif block will also take a expression condition. Okay, the only else doesn't take any expression or condition. So elif also takes an expression. Okay, so how this thing works, only one block will be executed. This is called ladder. Why? Because you can actually always, if else if block should follow either if or elif. You can't write elif out after the else, understood? Else should be always, else is optional, and if it is present, it should be at the end. Okay, and this is a ladder. This is called ladder because in a if else if ladder, only one block will be executed. Okay, and condition will go on checking, until at least one condition is false, and that block will be executed. If none is at least one block is true, and that block will be executed. Otherwise else block will be executed if none of the given if and else if blocks are true. Yes, yeah, it doesn't go if the given first if itself is true, it will execute that if block and it will jump out of that if else whole if else if ladder. Okay, and it will jump directly to the statement, here, which is in green, that will be executed always. And let's say the first if expression is false, it will go to the else if, and we else if also takes a expression. Okay, that is not this shown here in a pseudocode, and if it is false, it will goes to another else if, and none of the else if is true, finally else will be executed. Okay, let's say the second else if is true, that else if block will be executed and control will jump out of that if else ladder, and the statement control will continue from the statement we have here. Okay, green. So let's take an example here, the same example, which is determining if the given given here is okay, true, given here is a leap year or not. But basically we haven't used here else if, but this can be demonstrated as a this same logic can be written in multiple ways using nested. Here we wrote this thing using nested if else. We can nest those that if else's, so deep. Okay, but this can be actually turned into a single expression using logical operators, and this can be written using the multiple if else block ladder, if else if ladder. Okay, so another example, you try out this example. Okay, what is this example? You wanted to print age group. Okay, so if that person is, try out this example, because for this example you need to use if else ladder, if else if ladder. because age group is that if the given age is actually less than a year, infant. If it is even less than a month, which we call it as a fetus. Like, let's say if it is a 0 or a year, we call it that person. Age, we can categorize it as an infant. If age is between 1 and 2, we can categorize as a toddler. Okay. And a kid till the teenage. Okay, maybe 12 years, and since from 12 years to 19, a teenager, and 19 to 24, adult, young adult, like that we have age group. Try out this thing. So what is the challenge here? Take age as input, and you need to print that name of that age group, that person